Ahoy mateys, this be the Playing Dutchman, and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. Yeah, we've done all three first acts before, about to start Act 4. Act 5 is actually an act that's still not out. This game has been out for a while. I'm actually not sure when it's going to be out, but we'll have to see about that one when it releases. So this will be the final episode for at least the foreseeable future, until there's more news. Okay, that's the thing that's happening. But yeah, until the foreseeable future, this will be the last episode. For 5.4, context backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Guess it could be slippage. If left unresolved, gear slop can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motion, and decontextualize gestures. See also Section 1.8, General Troubleshooting, and 5.3, Gesture Context. Troubleshooting. Let's see, what the fuck is going on? Mail 1.8, General Troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. General troubleshooting techniques include leaving it alone, then returning later until the hue becomes apparent, pretending not to notice the problem, or hammering with something plastic. That'll do, book. My savior. What? My savior, our friend is in a bad way. Any inside? Time to put that mammoth out to pasture, Will. Oh, I feel certain she got a few trips left in her. If only she had a more capable surgeon. Sadly, mechanics are in short supply down here. I think the setting is too romantic. It scares them off. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight? Just tagging along. That doesn't sound like you. Well, we dragged some folks to his show, just returning the favor. I'm sure your new friends appreciate the company. It's no shame to be lonesome. We picked you up at Bureau tonight. I've never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah, have you been there? The Zero? Oh, no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less, alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Ugh. Not the kind of night to get stoned on, but he's being very vague. The mucky mammoth? Okay, so what are we doing? We're on the ship. We're going to Dogwood Drive. This is the dude that... For we on Malden Whiskey Fat. Oh! Wet gears. Wet gears? Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried, anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and then I loaded them back in again. Well, that took care of the grinding sound, but her trunks keep doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? So what's your story, Will? A story? Well, I like to listen to them. I like to tell them, but I don't have one of my own. I also don't have a permanent address or a pickup truck or any change of clothes. I washed my laundry in the river, and in that moment, I'm truly free. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud to Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls, or in dangerous places. So I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground, then it doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance, drop off the mail, and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Oh, if you talk to Kate, could you ask her when she stops for gas, could she pick me up a scratch ticket? Look. Thanks. Alright. I'm imagining Kate is the captain of the ship. Like, that's all I can imagine. We can talk to Kate here. She has her own dog. That's not ours. Alright, Kate. How's the cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard in the eyes. Still irritates mine a little. And I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. Let's mix up some slippery elements and coffee and dried spring agaricus. I don't know what that is. Just add swamp snake and that'll be a love potion. I'm teasing. Or am I? How far are we from Dogwood Drive? The Echo's dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo Mail stop. But we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business. Mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute. All dotted on the river banks from here to there. I hope you enjoyed the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There's some pretty interesting tapes down there. Actually, unusual. I mean, weird. Watch out, that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. I saw you talking to Will. He's an old friend. Don't be fooled by that burnout aura. He's a smart and kind man. I think his only vice is those silly scratch tickets. Speaking of which, we're coming up on our next stop shortly. Refueling and picking up a few things. Well, eyes on the road. Runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? No, that's not quite that high. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Blah blah blah. Here, 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. Okay, so we can enter the ship. Oh, we play Ezra now. Okay. Well, let's enter the ship. We probably have some time to kill on the ship before we reach any port. Right. Musicians. Alright. Let's see. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right. At the flower shop. I remember that show. I just... Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So, you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Well, I know about that. Just recording a lot of like ambient noise for videos and stuff like that. You listen for a lot of details in the world around you. It's pretty interesting. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara came here all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Shit, Lithuania. I don't know what accent Lithuanian is. It's a tour. I'm just gonna remain English. Fuck it. Don't want to insult any Lithuanian people. It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta. And then over the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it. And Johnny was moved. Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the Rum Colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the Rum Colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often used found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds for tonight, you can help me out. Okay. We could do that. Listen to the cat. Meow. Kick the cat. What the hell happened to your arm? Oh. That was boring. So, what are you doing? Or just you're filming you now? Filming. Well, we're following you now. What happened to your arm, though? You're becoming less myself. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Fresh air? Maybe. It's homey in that cabin, though. Or warm. It's just a thing about... What was it? When you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forgot what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Got any sleep? Just, I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams. When you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep, and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. This does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah. Better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. He seems to keep himself entertained. I mean, he's used to taking care of himself, right? It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. You kind of already did, right? What's up, huh? What's up, huh? You looked at like there's something you wanted to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go work in hard times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think you do have a choice. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go suddenly. I don't think you do have to... No. No. That's bad. I don't like that way of thinking, and he does not owe them one bit. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. Problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer, she said. You have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there. And that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Well, once you get the technicality down, yes. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now, I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. That's an interesting way of looking at it. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on the raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him. And I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Lucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mall drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I'm often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Okay. Gonna explore the gas station for a little bit. Ezra stayed on the oh, wait. Ezra has a lot of time to look at the map room when we're on the boat and traveling, so let's follow Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We got it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around? Sure. It's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it. Or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. Doesn't have a name or anything. And I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of the regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any, of your own. I mean, no, I guess not. I just realized you two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff. But I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around, uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, churning. Oh wait, probably killed a few tomatoes. Got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river. Not at all. Got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growths. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You never seen a mushroom grow like a soggy cave moth carcass. The fuck? Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I will be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah? What? We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. Just want to brew some tea before you get underway. Headed into the station? Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure. Don't want him falling asleep on you. No, he'll be all right. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel's on my tab? Charged to the mucky mammoth? Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. So, are we... Okay, we are moving somewhere, but we can't really go anywhere but, like, inside the gas station, I guess. Okay. Diesel, liquor, coffee, and snacks. Let's talk to the attendant. Looking for crystals? Why do you assume I'm looking for crystals? We got them on sale. All kinds of folk come in here looking for crystals. There's a few over there with a milky white shocks through the middle, like you caught a piece of cloud. People seem to like those a lot. Yep. Popular crystals. You work the mammoth? I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat? The Captain Kate said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. It's okay. I've learned to accept it. In fact, I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten. Letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. They used to live in the city. I mean the real city. Cleveland, Ohio. Had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels and daylight. I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. Took my duties with me here to Lake Lathy and the Echo River. I lived behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I lived with dignity. And yourself? No, I don't think so. I'm not alone. Sure, so you say. I say you can travel in company and still be alone. We keep all the crystals on that shelf over there. Buy one, get one free, of equal or lesser symmetry. What do we got? The crystals are rough, dirty. Some are damp. They must have come out of the river. Johnny seemed distant. Traveling with all these people might be like sensory overload for him. Junebug tries to scrape some green algae off a larger specimen, examining it for the kind of cloudy inner formation the attendant said it was so popular. It's always just been the two of us on that bike. Those letters and a few numbers are woven through the algae. Maybe best to just ask him what's on his mind. This isn't algae at all. It's decayed plastic bag caught on the rock. Who's Norm? Oh, wait. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway out to sea. I wasn't looking for you down by... I was looking for you down by the New Königsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there. The river's deep as an elephant's... Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. What? Elephant? Alright. You're no paper flower, I see that. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted. Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. Enchanted sounds pretty old-fashioned. Is that the kind of gal Loretta is? Guess I don't know. But now I'm double embarrassed. Do I look like her? To be truthful, I couldn't tell you. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife, excuse me, my ex, or maybe I'm her ex. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles, so here I am. So what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Oh, maybe head down to the Rome colony? Shoot, I forgot to ask if she liked to drink. You really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'll maybe try to take her by the bed sanctuary. That's pretty romantic, in a sense. Like misty valleys and ruined churches romantic. Not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. That's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we'll kind of sail around that. Damn it all. I guess I'd probably miss her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all? My card is full. Oh, no, sorry. That's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a short sort of autobiography for the computer date. And I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and, well, that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spent most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. No goofballs? Okay, what do you think? What was that about goofballs? I mean, like, serious inquiries only. You might miss out on some really great goofballs. Maybe you're right about that. Think about the wind. I mean, it portrays his personality a lot, and he should not have to not mention his children. You'll be fine. Alright, thanks for your help, ma'am. Really renewed my confidence. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyways. Do I still need to get a scratch ticket? Or we're just gonna be talking to Johnny and Val. Mushroom hunting, huh? I'd like to try my hand at mushroom hunting. I bet I'd be pretty good at it. So, would you like to ride with us for a day? I bet you would. We're good company. Maybe we can still talk her into it. What's that? It's a crystal. I bought it for you. Wow. Thank you, ma'am. Hey, could you hold on to it for a minute? I'm going to look inside. Look around inside. Wish me luck. Good luck. Oh. Good luck. Alright, let's... Should probably get his fucking scratch card now. Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where you headed? I'm helping some new friends make a delivery. Or, along for the ride anyway. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting or navigating or whatever, passenger contributes to a journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. It's what I liked about this job. The travelers come to me. Meet some interesting people? I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. There. Al.
Glory, it is good to be among friends.
Sit yourself. What the fuck? Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man.
I'd give you any advice I could, little guy, but I think the most important thing I can say is... Glory, it is good to be among friends.
Helps to keep things in perspective, I guess.
It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight particularly, so... It's my birthday. I'm 5 years... Oh.
I just gave that voice to a 5 years old. What? Okay. I'm 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. 5 years and some days ago... Wait. No, I forget.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
So fucking... I did this voice. I don't care.
5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River alone. Or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running in my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearings as best I could and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting the time in apples eaten, and drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned my dreams for 2 apples. Finally I came to accept my fate, lost at sea, and this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me feeling around in an empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later, I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple. And that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact, but I waited out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all, worked out a thick tear, not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then... blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. It was a damn lightning bug. So, that's how come I'm here today with you folks. Only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. Glory, it's good to be among friends. Damn. Did my Johnny talk your ears off out there? Damn, he's even got me talking to dogs now. I think I can see why he does it. You're a good listener, Val. That guy's a trip. The gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. I thought it was a toad. Oh, is there a difference? Toads have warts? Huh, I never knew. So how does that gas station attendant remind you of a frog? Oh, I don't know. Because he liked to talk, I guess. Maybe we should pick up another one. A frog or a cat or a iguana or something. Or maybe a third person to travel with? Huh. Now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? You and me were good together, safe, free. You know what I mean? We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with, what else could we be? We can keep it in mind. Let's not rush into anything. Yeah, you're right about that, ma'am. No rush. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. I can't click. Okay. Back on the boat. Do I? Oh, no. Okay. I don't steer the boat. See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by the very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand when it was upholstery shop. It didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the great frame of an old sign behind a new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though. She's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her aunt, Ida.
Ida has very little to do with the day-to-day. She's busy with other endeavors, mostly the restaurant she and her husband run on Lake Lethe. That looks like a interesting, cozy place. I mean, honestly, just go to the bar. Might be a little bit more, I don't know. Just keep with the rest of the people. Have some fun while you're at it. Enjoy the trip, you know? Yep, sounds like him. Our friend Cyrano is booked here tonight. He's pretty good. He's a wizard. A wizard of the lap steel guitar. How much time do you think we have here? No rush, I don't think. Kate says just to wander back whenever. This is a take it easy kind of stop. She doesn't even blow the foghorn to round up the crew here. No point. Something about this spot is like wax in the air when it comes to timetables and responsibilities. I was supposed to meet someone here earlier tonight about some bike parts. Hope she's still around. Oh, I'm sure she is, madam. Half sleeping into a fragrant mug with all the other wayward sailors. Let's do this. Nope, we're not talking to those people. This is a cozy little place, though. Nice little stop in... It's in a cave. The water's fine. Invigorating. Makes me want to run. I could gallop up and down this beach like a horse. What's he yelling about? He wants to run on the beach like a horse, he says. Oh dear, what's in these drinks? Pretty strong, huh? But deceptively sweet. Mine's not very sweet at all, actually. It's just sort of pleasant. I really meant rich. I think with a sweet aroma. Invigorating. Catch anything, Lewis? So, did you find what you were looking for with Lula? I mean. It's a work in progress. I know what you mean. I've been working on. I think I'll go for a run along the beach as soon as I'm finished with this drink. Try not to yell so loud, Lewis. I'm afraid you'll shake the ceiling loose. Is there anything out here that's like remotely interesting? Kind of ruined the atmosphere, like shining my light. Fucking bright white flashlight. Yeah, let's not ruin the mood. An untouched drink sits on the table, forgotten or abandoned or simply wasted. Hey, Conway. There she is. You have to try one of these flower drinks. I feel like I could drink 100 of them. Not too sweet, not too strong, you know. A real session drink. It won't be scraping you off the beach. Nah, it's not one of those. Not one of those really strong drinks. Just sort of. It doesn't taste like a flower. I mean, not like flower smells, you know. Perfume, sickly sweet. Like a star thistle flower. One of my first long-haul gigs ended in a crash. Did I tell you about that? Wasn't so bad, actually. I swerved to dodge some stray cattle, hit a stump on the side of the road, and flipped the trailer. The whole rig went twisting down a muddy ditch. It was spring, and I blacked out. I don't think I hit anything. It was just a shock of it. Or maybe my brain bounced against the inside of my skull or something. Anyway, I woke up, and I've been thrown clear. Never worn a seatbelt since. Oh, why did I bring that up? Star thistle. I woke up with a feel of star thistle. The first thing I thought was, what are all these damn ugly flowers? More old stuff. I'm drowning in old stuff tonight. Feels like I got it piled up all around me. Like one of those old guys you hear about who never threw anything away. Know what I mean? Maybe you should slow down. Oh, no. I don't think so. In fact, I could use a few more of these. Just take a book of matches to the room. That should clear everything right up. Know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not making sense, am I? Just mean to say I can't look at anything without remembering something else, and then that reminds me of something else, and I'm buried in it. I just need to get my head clear for a minute. Get a clear view of the day. Get oriented. There was a time when I felt this way. I'd bite a bullet, try to sober up and get a job. Work is therapeutic for me, too. Work is play for mortal stakes, or so they say in church. Hey, I'm gonna sit and look at the water for a minute. Talk to you later. Don't be a stranger. He's starting to get the same tone like a lot of other people in the cave systems do. Is this kind of why? Is it because they drank that fucking flower crap? Hello, happy to be in the here and now. I heard a shuffling. Are you dragging your feet or just enjoying the sand between your toes? Deep in thought, I guess. I think you have something weighing on you, and I respect that enough not to press the subject. We're always being pressured to talk about our problems. It's all over the radio in the self-help section of the bookstore, but my ethos is to just sit with it, alone, inside of yourself. My spiritual advisor says if something is boring after 2 minutes, try it for 4. And I think that applies to any other dissatisfaction just as well. I wanted to ask you something. I thought of it earlier, but it didn't seem to like the right time. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. You want to know where we're going? Oh, no, I don't really think about that kind of thing, but I see you have a purpose. Well, the Echo carries pilgrims as well as drifters. I think you'll get to wherever you're going. Wouldn't you agree? Is that what you wanted to ask? No, it was... Well, I forget it now. Typical. Okay, let's head up to the bar. Sup, Patch? Junebug! Hey, guess who I just saw like an hour ago? Dee Dee. Wasted. I had to send him on his way. Why do you hang out with this guy? He's like family. I hear you. Gotta draw some kind of line though, right? Hey, any of your friends want a drink? I got time. Busy night, but everyone's deep in their straws by now. What have you been mixing up? Let's see. What's good tonight? Dark sweet tiki? What's that like? Chill a tall glass with a little grapefruit juice at the bottom. You just keep pouring in gold rum till it starts to turn iridescent. Add lime juice, white grapefruit juice, and pineapple juice. Some folks like sugar. Always include a toothpick. What else you got? Salty cocktail on the grog. What's that like? 1 shot, 151 proof rum, 2 shots of light rum, lime juice, refrigerate, throw an apple peel on top. What else you got? Blue Devil. What's that like? 1 shot dark rum, 2 shots white rum, pineapple juice, stirred, throw an orange peel on top. No drinks for us, thanks. No problem. See you around. AKA, everything sounds gross. Sonny. Hey, did you hear the ice caps melting? Did you hear the ice caps are melting? I mean the polar ice caps, the ones all the way at the top. Don't listen to him, hon. He's all doom and gloom tonight. Don't listen? That's the answer. Don, well, what else can you do? Someday all of this will be underwater. We'll all be drowned. What can you do? You can recycle? Half measures avail us nothing. Don't be a pessimist, Sonny. Have another Mai Tai. Isn't Mai Tai a sport? I don't fucking know. He's just in a dark mood because the bar is crowded tonight. He likes to spread out. You know, broken glass has decimated the owl population, right? I should go. Sonny, you're insufferable. Let's see about our musical guest. Oh, Cyrano. I'm so glad to see you. These cooks are bumming me out, man. See that guy in the sand over there? He's rolled up kind of off-center, you know, kind of leaning on the stage here, and he was like, "What kind of strings are those, steel or nylon?" Oh, he's just drunk. Oh, believe me, I know. Gotta be cool about it, or just get a drink and stay in your chair, man. If you're gonna drink like that, just drink. I mean, don't make it my problem. Hey, how's that new tape going? Oh, yeah, it's good, man. I mean, it's okay. Everything's recorded, but I still want to do another pass on it and maybe work on the mix, but there's no rush on that because I don't have the cash for blank tapes right now anyway. Petch threw me some bookings, so I'm trying to fund it with tips, but, you know, we're all paying a premium for blank media these days. I mean, SD cards aren't that expensive, but I guess this is sort of before that era. Everyone's afraid we're doubling garbage off the radio, so they only sell blank tapes in pallets or overpriced 3-packs. Totally cut out the small labels and self-publishers. Crystal and Gordon are just recording over old tapes for their new one. Can you believe that? It saves some cash, I guess, but you're always going to have old frequencies bleeding through. It's just chemistry, man. Hey, speaking of which, I'm about mid-set here. Can you take the can around while I play this next one? It's on the tape. Think you'll like it, man. Thanks. Okay. We're playing some dude that's Johnny, I guess. She didn't have to do that. That to hurt. But that's the way it goes. The unsteady steadying the unsteady. There's probably a $5 bill somewhere just floating up and down the river from tip jar to musician to tip jar to musician like an eternal ferry of good intentions. These two are pretty reliable. Where does the money come from anyway? Government check, maybe? Nah. They'd only tip like that on the 1st and 15th. What? Maybe they fence stereos or something. Alright, we're in lot. Hey, Ezra. This guy's keeping some old company tonight. Better to just let him be. Odd. Whoa. Someone left a 20 here. Is that for Patch or Cyrano? Maybe there's enough change in the jar to split it. It's only fair. Okay, not much else here, right? Just checking for some, well, tips. Nothing here. This dude. Also off his gourd. Will never has any money. Good for him. What's up, Ezra? This guy's barely here. He's like basically sugary wet sand until the morning. He left a couple bucks by shoes here. Or dropped it. That's probably for the band, or if it's for anything at all. I just stole $2. We'll worry about the ethical ramifications later. 15, damn. These cooks are really going for it. It's good. You can always hope for much with these fly-by-night crowds. Could have been some deep tiki fanatics getting uptight about Cyrano's tape machine or something. These folks are tourists wherever they go. In his own little orbit, he ought to stop and think about who's creating all the atmosphere. I think it's natural or something, like it's just that this place sounds like a cheap illusion.
He's way gone, reflecting or pretending he doesn't see the tip jar.
Not many people for the rest of it, but let's see, nothing else. I think we collected enough tips. There you go. I mean, that's a decent haul, right? It's pretty decent for an hourly salary. Broken glass. That's his latest rant. But I'm not surprised by anything anymore. Before this, it was bovine growth hormones and global warming. No, he's harmless. I just don't know him anymore, that's all. He takes bits and pieces of things he reads and synthesizes them all into some grand theory. And it's always the end of the world. But who could know that stuff, right? We can't even predict the weather. I mean, if you could take all these little pieces and predict how they're all going to interact, well, you'd know everything. I'd tell you what I'd do with that kind of knowledge. When I first met a man, I'd look at his shoes and the kind of books he read and what he eats for breakfast, and I'd make damn sure we weren't doomed to spend our twilight years greedily emptying Mai Tais and arguing about broken glass. Well, you know what they say about hindsight. Here's to a better yesterday. That's depressing. Looking back to a life that hasn't worked out. Guess we're going back to the boat. Go be depressing somewhere else. Let's see. Well, that was a pleasant detour. Yes, ma'am. Ready to get moving? How about you round up the old man? You can tear him free. Oh, right. I have to get Conway. I mean, he's getting about as fucking distant and vague as all the other folks. Why is there static? Yeah, you're right about that. I never quite thought of it that way. Who are you talking to? Oh! No, it's nothing. Hey, let's get out of here. Work to be done, right? The fuck? He's a lot vaguer than usually. Alright. Let's just head out and not think about this, I guess. Am I clicking anywhere? No. I'm not steering the ship, but there's nothing else for me to read right now. These, I'm not sure how much longer this chapter is, but it's already been like an hour. It's easy to miss, but beneath the quarter-acre swarm of moths, that's Noctua ularica or some rough brick moth. Their diet is mostly constrained to moss, but they make an exception for sunflowers. It's a quarter-acre sunflower orchard, and beneath all that sunflower orchard, there are two small lots with small houses, positioned so they just about butt right up against each other. The houses are empty now of human life. There's no sign of a person or anything living except for moths and overgrowth. There are some pipes bolted into the cave wall near the perimeter, and a few stone cars where the other pipes have been ripped away by scavengers. These ones supported the large grow lamps that fed the sunflowers. What? The lamps are gone now, though. Once this crop of sunflowers is picked away, it's unlikely anything else will grow here but lichen, moss, and rock formations. The rough brick moth will move on. The houses will be visible again, at least until someone strips them for building materials or the river washes them away. The houses were once inhabited by two sisters. Why they built their houses so close together or lived in any proximity at all, it's a mystery, since they clearly despise one another. It's possible the neighboring houses were an attempt at reconciliation. Didn't work. If anything, close quarters just turned up the pressure until those decades of closely held resentments and animosities were pretty near to boiling over. All that energy had to go somewhere, and both sisters had the same idea. They took up gardening. They both cultivated sunflowers, an improbable crop for this location too. Well, improbable to be coincidence. Maybe the sunflowers had some special meaning for them. Or maybe when one sister saw her rival sowing the impossible seeds, she knew at once she couldn't bear to be outdone. Which sister had the greener thumb? We'll never know. The stalks tangled, the roots knotted, and the seeds mixed. Those gangly sunflowers merged the two lots into one undifferentiated field. The two sisters moved out, probably around the time the moths started showing up. Of course, there was no selling the lots then, overgrowth and buck-chewed as they are. In fact, if those sisters ever tried to sell, they'd be in for a rude shock. Not long ago, the property tax clerk, having seen the two adjoining lots registered to the same last name, presumed they belonged to the same owner and erased the legal border between them. Well, okay, that's all knowledge I don't much care for. I don't know. I care for the personal story. Let's get some below deck time. This seems boring. Valkyrie and Homer launch below deck. That's the two dogs, right? Let's do it. The Mucky Mammoth. Is this it? We're just gonna look at two dogs staring at each other? Wait. That's it. I love it. While those two gently beasts kept things under control aboard the Mucky Mammoth, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. Called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals of months, to chip away at the pile. Kate checked in on a client of hers. She's a birth doula. In addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Wait, Kate. So we're not talking. Clara talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyway, the evening hit a low point not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. I'm just gonna be quiet now and look at the boat. Okay, there's something there. Little dock. So almost seems like the end of the road, actually. Seems to be something stopping us. Let's do something fun. Ezra taught us a card game. We've been doing a lot of business in the last episodes. This whole boat ride seems to be a chance to just take her easy once in a while. Three deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. What are we listening to? Oh, just a tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. V-Syncs? Something like that. Sounds good on the Mammoth's PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. I don't know how this game works. Blue petals surrounded by 8 wide deep breaths. Oh no, I was 738. Oh, you're beating at your own game. I'm just glad it didn't come to my turn again. You took a bullet there, my friend. It's a hard game, that's why I like it. We're only... how many cards in now? 5 or something? I assume it'll go on for 52. Yeah, I mean, it's a vague game. Let's just do that. It goes until everyone forgets the card. I could go on for a long time till then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. We're all too soggy-brained. I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Homemade? Shake grown lichen boiled with a peel off a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It tries to brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory. If I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry. The soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression. Like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away, so there's a trade-off, see? It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? What's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. Fucking vague. I thought we were at a... Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and the lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlets of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. It takes place in a castle. It's some historic landmark being maintained by a bunch of college kids and aging social misfits. Main character work in a gift shop. They're co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi's older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have a painfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. Why would you do that? Mimi confides in her friend about a traumatic events from her past. I don't know what the event was exactly. Guess I would know if I'd started at the beginning, like the writer probably meant me to. But I never found that way of reading suited me very well. Death of a loved one? I think something like that. In my life at work as the Echo River premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than an epic history. That's my excuse anyway, for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake and a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. So, this has been an interesting trip, to say the least. We've come full circle, but like the Zero, the Echo seems to be just as unpredictable. An island with a forest. I took a nap. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. Let's do that. Let's go look at the forest. A grove, rather. Strange claustrophobic feel to it, though. I mean, it's small enough. Let's see. And then... What? She lit a second cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under a heavy coat. It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of the hospital entrance. Hospital. Kate gently rolls a fallen branch and plucks something white from the underside. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. She stood by the hot dog cart parked at the edge of the sidewalk. Pleurocypilla porigens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't it pleasant? They have a delicate, springy texture, and they're nasty like sweet moss. Would you like a bite? Okay. Ezra takes a small bite and ruminates. What do you think? Is it supposed to be spicy? No. Go ahead and spit that out. It's okay. How do you know it's okay? My mushroom hunting mentor told me it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. She taps the cover of the small red book she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. Kate points to a small mushroom growing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important one to recognize, though. Look, see the sort of greenish pallor of the cap? Amanita phalloides? That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom and phalloides means, never mind. It smells like honey. Yeah, sort of nauseating, though, right? Sickly sweet. Death cap, that's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's a revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away the old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserve a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Great. Look for... actually, just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in this bag. Let me know when you're done and we'll see what you got. Have fun. That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. The first rule is, ask Kate before eating anything, okay? She parts the grass with her garden knife, studiously combing the ground. The hot dog vendor tried to strike up a conversation with some immediately too personal questions. She decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he considered it part of his job, she thought, to offer his customers some kind of counsel. So I guess this is a flashback? Maybe it was to solve his guilty conscience for selling junk food outside the hospital. There are no mushrooms in this grass. Okay, let's go task. Investigate the rotten stump. The stump is ringed with overlapping shelves of mushrooms striped brown, blue, gray, white. A caterpillar crawls along one of them. He didn't like to play in the house. It was always too cold, it seemed, to store up the cold at night. Then slowly discharge it into his bones during the day, while the sun bounced feebly off the windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. He didn't have any friends nearby. None of the new neighbors seemed to have children his age. So he played alone in the woods. Alone. Except for the deer. Ezra inspects the mushrooms. It smells spicy, sweet, mild. Like how Ezra has expected his father's tobacco to taste, when he hastily chewed and swallowed a noxious fistful and spent the afternoon retching in secret. He heard someone calling his name, probably his mother, but her voice didn't sound like right through the trees. He kept going. Ezra tears off a piece of the mushroom and puts it in his bag. I'm just gonna do it one at a time so it doesn't get too confusing. Ezra pokes around the base of a cypress tree. A brownish clump of mushrooms feathers out from the base of the cypress tree. A few feet above, several pale blue puffs cling to the trunk. The woods were full of deer. His dad said the deer liked best to live on the edges of forests. Recent development in the area created a lot of fresh edges, so they messed here and sometimes ran into the road. Ezra crouches to get a closer look at the brownish clump. The mushrooms look dried out and brittle, almost like tree bark. He heard a strange gruff voices back in the direction of the house, and something that sounded like a choked sob or a sharp rebuke. He kept going. Tears off a piece of the mushroom and puts it in his bag. Ezra closes his eyes and listens to the water and the distant clicking of bats. Okay, let's dig a bare patch in dirt. It's a bit muddy from flooding or the general dampness of the caves. She finds two promising specimens, a spotted brown cap and a dense bundle of dark ridges. Had she ever tried any alternative medicines? Acupuncture, homeopathy, or basically scam medicine? Ayurveda, magical thinking? Yeah. She said she'd never heard of any of those things. She finished a stray hot dog out of the pickle jar. Inspects the spotted brown cap. The bottom of the cap is covered in tiny tooth-like protrusions. Plucks the mushrooms from the dirt and puts it in her bag. Kate tries to wipe some mud off her boot. He tripped on a protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of a sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of faraway thunderstorm. Then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end. And then there was the bird. What? Wow. It looks like quite the haul. See what you got. Ezra hands Kate the striped mushroom he took from the tree stump. Oh, great. This is called a turkey's tail. Delicious and good for the immune system. Ezra hands Kate the brittle brownish mushroom he took from the base of the cypress tree. Aha, brown gold. Most people call it sheep's head, but in alternative medicine circles it's better known by its Japanese name, maitake, the dancing mushroom. Apt because you do a happy little dance when you find one. It fights cancer, supports the immune system, regulates blood sugar, and tastes like eggplant. This one's a bit old and tough, but it's nothing that can't be solved with a lot of butter. Good find, Ezra. I just found this one. Kate takes the spotted brown cap out of her bag. Okay, this one is called Bitter Hedgehog, and it's on my list. It's great for nausea, which is basically the #1 complaint of the pregnant women I treat. Tastes kind of like black pepper. It's okay. I'll let it dry out so it's really tough, and they just chew on it like bubble gum. So, what do you parents do for work, I mean? My dad used to sell windows. People were building a lot of new houses and they needed a lot of windows, but then they stopped building houses. My mom worked at the bakery and a bar. Sometimes she would see the same people in the morning and in the evening. The bakery closed. She doesn't work at the bar anymore, but she still goes there a lot to see her friends. Do you have family? Yeah. I left home when I was very young. Not much older than you, actually. Bounced around jobs and shelters and finally found my way down to the Echo River. Never looked back. Basically been on my own since then. Well, that's not really true. Just about everyone who sets foot aboard the Monkey Mammoth feels like family to me now. I guess if nobody's family, then everyone's family. What is this island for? It looks like someone made it on purpose. Well, right, it's kind of a nice, simple shape, pleasantly minimal island geometry. I'm sure it could be natural, though. I mean, I don't know if the island itself is man-made or not, but I guess I don't know much about this place, really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial to something. Will would know more. Sorry, it's a mystery. Ezra kicks the dirt. Months later, she came across a book on homeopathic medicine in a used bookstore and bought it. It's a mystery. I'll search for clues. She put out her cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor, and spent the rest of her afternoon listening to doctors and trying to understand the world as they did. As a list of discrete injuries to be mended. I mean, homeopathy is not medicine, so I'm glad she didn't go that route. Examines a large stone monument. The monument is covered with lichen and painted text. Read the text. X+0 forever. X+0 forever. Okay. Ezra investigates the cypress tree. The tree smells spicy, oily. Inspects the bark. A message is carved in the bark. Ozzy. Ezra inspects the content of his pockets. Alright, what do you got? That stone-faced monument has X+0 forever painted on it. Interesting. What do you think that means? Hug and kiss forever? Well, they could be initials. Oh, it's O, not Xavier and Olivia forever? Xerxes and Oliver? What do you think that monument's for? What do you think that monument's for? I'm not sure anyone remembers. Somebody carved Ozzy in that tree over there. Oh, huh. What do you think that means? It's part of somebody's name? Or it's short for something? Observe 0 yaks. Old zebra yard. Ornery zoology. Just yak. Yacht. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it was a stretch. Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what all that adds up to. Like I said, I wished Will were here. He'd have some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. Kate and Ezra look up at the old battleship drifting by. Oh, there it is. The Iron Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. Don't know much about it firsthand, but I heard things. Somebody told me she got close to it by accident and heard a strange wailing sound. She was a passenger on the Mammoth. She said she'd been out fishing on a rowboat and got swept up by a current near the cluttered place. Before she knew it, the Iron Pariah was upon her, unimaginably massive, up close but eerily silent. The only sound, she said, were the lapping of the lake water against the iron hull, and a faint sort of, well, she said a chorus of mews. Well, there's just cats. I'll be damned if I know what that sounds like. I've never gotten close enough to the ship myself. I've heard it was in the Civil War. I guess they had boats full of soldiers and supplies going up and down the Ohio River. And they fought on the river, like boat to boat, with cannons or something, I guess. Machine guns? I'm no military historian. She can probably tell. Anyway, guess this one just got lost, and something ended up all the way down here. Maybe it slipped into a cave up north. They're all connected underground. There's another version of the story where it didn't get lost. It was full of deserters. They came down here to hide. Maybe that's why it's a pariah. More mysteries. They do pile up over time as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right out there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. Ezra's parents shook him awake. They seemed alarmed, but not immediately concerned. They led him back to the house, past the house, into the car. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while, the one with the little arcade with the card game he liked. Dad watched him closely in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited or confused or scared. But he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from a distance, from far above, from the clouds. Probably go back to the boat. It's time to go. Hey, let's pause it for a little bit there. After recording this, I realized it was going to take quite a bit of time to get the whole act into one episode. So we're pausing it here. And we'll see the rest of the episode in the next video. So, if you like this episode, click that like button and join me crew for more booty. But now, off the plank with you!
A frigate sails us only tell from every corner of the realm. The mouse and keyboard of the helm. The lads of the Playing Dutchman. Soon you'll all be singing the chanty tune of the Playing Dutchman.